I have a confession to make. This is going to be really hard to talk about, and I would very much appreciate it if you just hear me out and reserve your judgments, well, for the comments below, I guess. But it's been probably a long time coming, in fact, most of this year. So we are at the beginning of Vlogmas, and last year at this exact same time, I was having a blast. I was enjoying myself. I was excited to put out videos every night, and I was doing pretty well, just in general, despite the pandemic and despite everything that was going on, because I felt like I had a purpose for being on YouTube. I do not feel that purpose anymore, and I have not for a very long time. I have put out a few videos this year, and each one of them has been a struggle in its own right. And I think it's because I have given myself some extraordinarily unreasonable expectations for what I hope to achieve here on YouTube. I think if you are watching this right now, then you probably know at least a little bit that that is the case, especially if you are a subscriber who is coming back to my channel for not the first time, because of course my content slowed for a period and then it just stopped completely. And while I have not lied to you about why that was the case, I was very busy and we were living our lives, and actually I was full of a lot of joy for a lot of this year as a result of that. But in the back of my mind, I was also feeling quite guilty because I didn't put things out at a level or with consistency. And I was just not in a good place to be able to do that or to even want to. When I started this channel, I started it because I thought it would be fun to once a week come together with some like-minded individuals and sew some stuff. It turns out that people expected me to know a lot more than I did, and it's not that I don't know things. I have worked as a professional costume designer. I have also worked in a costume shop, and I have worked as a historic and just a museum interpreter. Just like with anybody else, I need to learn things too. And this channel is not a how-to channel. It has never been a how-to channel, but I think I convinced myself that that's what it needed to be. And as soon as I did that, it ceased to be fun. As soon as I felt that it was my responsibility to teach on this channel instead of to entertain, then that's when things went really wrong. Because as a lot of you know, I was a teacher. And the reason why I got out of teaching is because I had unrealistic expectations for myself. And in fact, the people I was working for had unrealistic expectations of not just me, but every teacher I was working with. And that is not an environment that is conducive to good work. And YouTube, for me, since I can even remember before I started a channel, and even working with my husband on his channel, has always been a place of pleasure and of happiness for me until this year. Before I go any further, I should probably clarify that I'm not quitting, and I'm also not quitting Vlogmas. Like, that's just not, no. You'll see me again tomorrow, don't worry. I just want to make sure that we are all 100% clear here, and that from now on, I refuse to put undue pressure on myself to teach you instead of just to perform, which is what I am. I'm a performer. My undergraduate degree is in theater. I was a performing arts teacher. I love performing and I love entertaining, and I am a smart person. I also know there's a lot that I need to learn, and I also know that there are a lot of things that I'm interested in beyond just vintage fashion. And it's not like I'm going to stop doing content like that, because I love this stuff and I love sewing and I love baking. It's just that those are not the only things that I love. And I feel like I have put, and maybe even just having a channel with this name, Old Fashioned AF, has put a specific notion in all of our minds, mine included, that the only reason why this channel exists is for me to talk about vintage or historic things. And I just don't think that I can do that anymore. I don't feel right doing that because it's not what I make up the bulk of my life doing. And I also kind of want this channel to be just as exciting as it was when I first started it again, because it's not right now. The last thing that I ever want to do right now is make a video. And that's not fair to me, and it's not fair to you. So my friend Diane Schiffer and I...
Something that I like is being plump. Makes me look nice and round and cute, and it keeps me warm, and I'm very soft.
She and I were having a conversation today, and Diane, if you are watching this, thank you so much. She and I were talking, And I myself have been ruminating a lot on making crappy art and what it means to become and to continue to be an artist. In my early career, I worked as a performer and as a singer and did a lot of in-person performances with theatrical works and a troupe. And as I got older and as I became a teacher, a lot of that stuff went by the wayside. And then I got really interested in history. And while that was already there in the background, it seemed to take up a whole heck of a lot more of my time in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. And some of that is to do with YouTube, because I started watching people like Bernadette Banner, even people like Rachel Maxey, who I wouldn't classify at this point as even having anything to do with history. But at the time, of course, she was talking a lot about her own personal style journey and doing her hair and some of the stuff that I've done on this channel myself. And a lot of my outside interests just kind of went by the wayside. And I want to bring them back into my life, and that's one of the reasons why I've created this studio for myself. And I want to share them with you as well, because if I'm not having fun at this whole YouTube thing, then what is the point? I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. Yes, I am part of the partner program, and that's great. I really, really appreciate the little bit of income that I do get from there and from Patreon, but this is not my full-time job. And because it's not my full-time job, I want to be on here for a purpose that's fun and that's meaningful to me. I guarantee you, now that I've gotten this off of my chest, that it's going to be more fun tomorrow. And I also guarantee you that it's going to be more fun moving forward, because look, this is the first time, I just have to be honest with you. This is the first time in a year outside of Vlogmas that I have been in my gut feeling like this is the right thing to say at the right time. I have been so in my head about whether or not I should put this out, or whether I should act this way, or whether or not my followers will actually appreciate this thing, that it's made this whole process just really difficult. And it's not because of you. It really isn't, because most of you are kind and you're genuine, and I appreciate everything that you say. It's me. It's me, and it's the pandemic, and it's a number of things that have happened in my personal life. And actually, the fact is that I would like to bring y'all more into my personal life, but I feel deeply uncomfortable trying to do that right now, because every single time that I try to film a video that's just a vlog and doesn't really mean much, then I feel guilty. And then it never gets published. And I really want that to stop. I really do. And I suspect that you guys do too, because it's astounding to me that so many of your comments in the last 3 days have been things along the lines of, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're back. I can't wait to see Vlogmas again. And you know what? I agree with you. It's just, it has to be different now. It has to. I have to be more myself, and I have to be more real with you. And it's as simple as that. Let's talk about making art, especially art that takes up space, is sometimes fantastic, and sometimes it's really crappy. And it's time that I'm more appreciative of that when it comes to myself. You don't know this about me, but you're about to, because I'm about to tell you. I have a coaching business. That's my real full-time job. That's what I actually want to do with my life. And that coaching business is for aspiring and current creators, and I run it. I work with creators and I work with small businesses online to help them grow their following and fulfill their dreams of having an online business. My life's passion is supporting people who do that. And it has been, well, for probably 2 years now. But you don't know that, because I was afraid until just tonight to tell you. Because I've been afraid to tell any of you anything about my life. And I don't know why. Again, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me, and it has everything to do with me being afraid to be vulnerable. But that's changing now. It's changing today. And so my announcement is that I am changing my channel name from Old Fashioned AF to Tara Cantrell, because that's my name. I intend to continue doing things like historic baking on this channel and talking about history on this channel. But I'm gonna do it in my way, and I'm gonna do it on my own terms from now on, and I'm not going to allow myself to be bogged down in whether or not that is the only thing that I am allowed to do. Because there are so many incredible opportunities to make crappy art. And I intend to take every one of those opportunities with this channel. And that might mean more Sims content, so sorry folks. It might also mean that sometimes I'm painting, or sometimes I'm gardening, or sometimes I'm literally just being and talking to you like I am right now. And I welcome you being along for the ride. But if it's not your thing, that's okay. This channel has to be about me learning to love the beautiful and the unique person that I am. Because since this isn't my full-time job, and honestly, I don't intend for it to be. That's never really been my dream. This channel is going to be a force for good in this world, and that good begins with the changes that happen tonight. I've told you everything that you need to know. I've made the announcement that I am changing the name of the channel. I don't know if it's gonna be right now or if it's gonna be at the end of Vlogmas, because it depends on how emotional I feel. But rest assured that first off, tomorrow's video is gonna be way more fun. And second, you can definitely expect some surprises from me in the coming weeks. So I hope that you are having a wonderful evening, wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Now, down in the comments, if you're not too shocked and if you haven't all gone away yet, why don't you tell me something that you really, really love about yourself? Have a good night.